Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Freddy vs. Jason, starring Robert Englund, Ken Kersinger, Monica Keena, Kelly Rowland, Jason Ritter, Lachlan Monroe, Kenneth Tsang, Lauren Lee Smith, and Brian Thompson, and directed by Ronnie Yu. Now, I didn't see this in the theaters, but I watched it when it was new on home viewing, but I remember it being a fun time. Will it be the same right now? Let's get into the movie. Freddy Krueger, returned by Robert Englund, explains his origin story of how he became the serial killer we all know and love, and nobody is afraid of him anymore. So he resurrects Jason Voorhees after he kills a camp counselor, and Freddy, being disguised as his mother, asks Jason to kill people in Elm Street, aka Springwood, Ohio. Excuse me. And I love that opening sequence as Freddy manipulates Jason as he goes to Springwood. And we meet Laurie, played by Monica Keena, Kia, played by Destiny Child's Kelly Rowland, and Gib, who's an alcoholic. And Laurie is the protagonist, and Kia is the sidekick of the protagonist. I get the impression anyway. Sorry, Paul. And we also meet Trey and Blake, and Gib and Trey have sexual intercourse, and Blake looks for the beer in the refrigerator and sees the door was opened, the back door I'll say, as Jason walks in and kills Trey, stabbing him repeatedly, which was really fucking hilarious because I can't connect with any of the characters. And I still don't like them, but this is a hilarious movie with fun B-movie dialogue that is so fucking laughable. Then a cop comes by with assistance at the right place at the right time, which was convenient for me. Laurie overhears one of the officers bring up Freddy Krueger, and she dreams of a little girl already killed by Freddy, and she dreams of Freddy briefly, which was once again really funny. Blake also dreams of Freddy as he's not killed yet until he wakes up and sees Jason uses his dad's dead body that was cut off as a shield, which was absolutely fucking brilliant. It was that funny. Then we move on to Will Rollins, played by Jason Ritter, and his friend Mark in Weston Hills Mental Hospital, as Will sees was a murder in Laurie's house, and Mark helps Will get the motherfucker out of there. And I love this scene, and as it cracks me up, this whole movie's a crack up. And I'm going to be honest here. I like this movie quite a bit because it's really bad. At the same time, it's hilarious, and I love how it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's just brilliant. Like, Linderman is introduced as he's a stupid character, but he's not taken seriously either. While at school, Mark and Will arrive to confront Laurie and to make friends with Coffee, which was a hilarious line, by the way, by Mark. And after Laurie faints, Kia had a dream of Freddy getting her nose, which made me laugh so damn hard. And Will and Mark split up as Will goes to the party where everyone else in high school is at, while Linderman tells Kia off, and Will arrives to the party to see if Laurie is okay, and she talks about Freddy Krueger. Meanwhile, Gib dreams of Trey being alive, and the next thing you know, she's in Freddy's boiler room, while a guy with lights all over him smooches her. And that made me laugh my ass off. And it was so funny. Freddy almost kills Gib until Jason takes a stab of her while killing the light guy who's smooching her up the storm. And these two stoners poke at Jason until he kills one of them and one of them pours alcohol and burns him as Jason throws a machete to kill the other stoner. And kills people left to right in that scene, which was awesome, by the way. Will tells Laurie about how her mother is killed, and her father he had him put away in Weston Hills, which I don't care about the backstory. I just want to see Freddy and Jason go at it with each other after Mark gets killed by Freddy by giving kids a message saying Freddy's back. which is a good death by Mr. Krueger, by the way. That's his only death. I'm going to be honest. The cop tells the story of Jason, and they figure out 4 things. 1, Freddy brought Jason to kill all the high school kids. 2, both Freddy and Jason's weakness. Freddy by fire, Jason by water. 3, Freddy can be pulled into the real world. And 4, Will tells everyone about the pills called Hypnocell that'll make you never dream. And we also learned that in A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, in Freeburg, smokes some pot and witnesses Freddy's worm as it goes in his mouth, which was gross, and it makes him Freddy for a few minutes until they find Jason, and Freddy tells Freeburg to dump the Hypnocell in the sink, and Jason goes after the kids until Freddy disguises Freeburg, and he gets cut in half as Freddy gets put in Freddy's dream, or Jason gets put in Freddy's dream world and fucks around with Jason's mind and pins him like a pinball machine, which was fun. And Freddy discovers Jason's weakness and pours water on him and pokes his head and dreams, which is the fun stuff. But the thin stuff is the kids driving to Camp Crystal Lake to put back Jason where he belongs, in Camp Crystal Lake. They get Jason to Camp Crystal Lake, and they try to wake Laurie up into a cabin, and Jason busts in and fights everyone until Laurie gets Freddy to the real world, and Jason focuses on Freddy, and they start fighting as Jason throws Freddy and the cabin burns down, and Freddy catches up with the kids as Linderman dies, and Kia distracts Freddy, and his line, "How sweet, dark meat," just ugh. Jason does kill Kia, or no, not, yeah, Jason kills Kia, and the fight between Freddy and Jason begin, and Laurie wants to see Freddy die, which isn't working out, and I love the torpedo scene. That was awesome. And Freddy takes a stabbing at Jason at a construction site, and they get to the edge of the lake, and Freddy cuts Jason's fingers off, which was a great move, and stabs Jason in both eyes with his finger knives, and Laurie will blow up the edge of the lake by burning it, and both Freddy and Jason kept ticking for the longest time as Freddy almost kills Will and Laurie, and Jason takes one last stab at Freddy, and Laurie and Will get out of there, and the next day comes, and Jason rises up and holds Freddy's hand like a basketball as Freddy winks at the camera, and as a climax, it was the best battle of any Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th movie, and it's a much better fight than Alien vs. Predator, at least in my opinion. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 8.2 out of 10. This is a much better battle than Alien vs. Predator, which I just brought up. And this is the second best Nightmare on Elm Street movie, and the first one, after the first one, and maybe the best Friday the 13th movie ever. This movie is hysterical and fun to watch. And I had a lot of fun with Freddy and Jason, and the kills are awesome, and I will watch this in my future. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, and I will be back for both series, with both of the remakes, A Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. And until next time, da 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 da.